oh, can white people be discriminated against? Of course they can. Of course they can. Welcome back to the show. Be sure to subscribe. Let's get right to it. First topic. So Trump and Elon are going at it. It all pretty much started because Elon got pissed about Trump's big, beautiful bill and thought there was just too much wasteful spending with the budget and thinking it was going to undermine what he was doing there with Doge, which, I mean, who really knows at this point? Everybody pretends like there's some sort of expert on this big, beautiful bill when they pretty much have no clue what's really inside the thing, you know? I love how everybody just pretends they're an expert. But yeah, I mean, Elon basically went scorched earth on Trump with the dropping the huge bomb of claiming that he's on the Epstein list, and that's why, you know, it hasn't come out yet. I don't know what the real reason it hasn't come out, but I don't know if he's actually on the Epstein list. That's just a little crazy. I mean, once you go there, right, if you make that claim, then you've pretty much, you know, gone from 0 to 100 immediately, right? Like, that's just, does it really even get worse than that in today's world if you're gonna claim the president of the United States is on the Epstein list? I mean, I don't really think you could say anything more damaging to the guy's character anymore at this point, but yeah, it's just, let me know if you're on Team Trump or if you're on Team Elon. Honestly, it's kind of seeming like Elon is like the employee who was fired and now he's just trying to take the whole place down with him because he's got bitter and just about how it ended, you know, but like, I don't know. And who knows how it really ended, whether Trump's claiming he wanted Elon to leave now. And it's just such a whole mess that you don't even really know who to believe or who to think. I mean, I would probably kind of lean towards Team Trump being more, I guess, legitimate in this case, because Elon's just kind of looking like the jilted lover, honestly. I don't know. Just let me know if you think Elon's telling the truth or Trump's telling the truth, or it's basically probably somewhere in between. But all right, let's get to the next topic. So Russia has retaliated against Ukraine. Go ahead, take a look at the clip. Yeah, so you knew Russia was going to respond after that drone attack on that airfield, and Trump was even claiming, like, yeah, I mean, I talked with Putin, and he's claiming he's going to have to respond and retaliate, and, you know, it's just like, what the hell was Zelensky thinking, you know, doing that when Trump's getting everything going, all the peace talks, there's been multiple talks of a ceasefire, and then he does it, he brags about it, and then he comes out like a couple days later, like, pretty much begging for a ceasefire once he hears that, you know, Putin's going to potentially retaliate. It's like, dude, like, what is going on with the guy? Is just completely just doesn't want this war to end, and then now he's claiming like he does, you know, like, when's he gonna start acting like he wants to just completely end it? Because us Americans, we're basically out completely. I mean, let me know as an American if you were just completely over Ukraine, the Ukraine war, and basically everything that's going on. Do you basically have Ukraine fatigue? Because for me, I'm just 100% like, let's get this over with. I pretty much never want to hear about Ukraine ever again. And as well, we shouldn't have to as Americans. You know, they're way over there, and as long as everything's going well, we should never hear the word Ukraine ever again, folks. And that's how it should be. Because, you know, like, really, we have nothing that going on over there. We got the mineral rights deal, but it's like Ukraine has been thrusted into every American's lives, like, for no reason, right? Other than Biden just let the war happen and, you know, basically facilitated it with his, well, if they have a minor incursion, we're not going to do anything. Everybody knows this would have never happened under Trump, because Trump and Putin, they respect each other, and if Trump's like, hey, dude, we don't want you doing this, Putin's going to be like, oh, okay, just like in his first term, right? If he didn't do it in his first term, why would he have done it in his second term? This is basically on Biden and, you know, just, I guess, all the war hawks around, right? That's just the military-industrial complex might win in the end on this one, and it might just go into a full-blown World War III. Hopefully not. But all right, let's get to the next topic. So this Dr. Marc Siegel guy went on the Laura Ingraham show on Fox and claims that weed is just terrible. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
I don't know what they're doing, but I'll tell you something. With 50 million or more people smoking pot regularly in this country, now grandma and grandma getting into the act, almost 10%, it's going to send absolutely the wrong message. And I'll tell you why this is happening. Because they think it has medicinal use. They think it's going to help you sleep at night. They think it's going to decrease your anxiety and decrease your pain. None of that has been shown medically. It increases your anxiety. It doesn't help you sleep at night, and it doesn't treat pain. 39 states where it's medicinally used is a disgrace, and that's what led to the 24 states where it's recreationally used. People flooding emergency rooms, people getting into car accidents. They say, well, it's safer than alcohol, but they're taking it with alcohol, and it's doubling the amount of car accidents with both substances on board over the last 2 decades. I'm really worried about this.
First of all, let me know how you feel about marijuana if you are a marijuana smoker. Do you think what this guy's saying is true? Like, oh, it causes anxiety and basically everything under the sun. It doesn't help you sleep. It doesn't help with pain. It's basically terrible. The guy is basically claiming it's terrible, which as a on and off user since I was 18 myself, I don't agree with him whatsoever. Now, will it give you anxiety? Sure, it'll give you anxiety, but what it really does is it amplifies the current mental state that you're in. So, I mean, if you're feeling great and everything's going great in your life and you smoke a little bit of marijuana, it's just going to be like, oh, God, I feel even better. I feel great. But if you're in a shitty place in your life where, you're just worried about everything, you're stressed out to hell, and, you just don't know what's going to happen next, then, yeah, of course, it's going to heighten that mentality, and you're just going to be it's going to, give you more anxiety. But I mean, the pain thing, trust me, a lot of people have, taken cannabis for pain and CBD and all that stuff, and it helps me sleep great. I mean, if I don't smoke before I go to sleep, it takes me a little longer to get to sleep, I'm going to admit. But hey, let me know what you think. Is this guy just completely full of it, or does he make some good points? Let me know your experience with it if you have one. But all right, let's get to the next topic. So the Supreme Court ruled unanimously that reverse discrimination is discrimination. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
Breaking news, the Supreme Court is releasing opinions. I want to go straight to CNN Chief Legal Affairs Correspondent Paula Reed. What are you learning, Paula?
All right, Pam, we've already gotten 4 decisions from the court, and among them is one of the big ones we have been watching. This is a unanimous opinion that will make it easier to file so-called reverse discrimination claims here in the U.S. Now here, the Supreme Court sided with a straight woman in Ohio. She filed a reverse discrimination lawsuit against her employer when her gay boss declined to promote her and instead promoted another gay individual. Now, this is mostly about the bar that members of majority groups, so in this case a straight white woman, need to meet in order to file these kinds of claims. And here in a unanimous opinion, they have sided with this woman. So she will, it appears, be allowed to continue to proceed with this. And as you know, diversity, equity, and inclusion, this is something that has been really politicized during the Trump administration, which is one of the many reasons that we have been watching this particular case so closely.
It's good to see the Supreme Court ruled unanimously on pretty much common sense. Everybody knows the reverse discrimination is discrimination. The fact that they even call it reverse discrimination and put some weird label on, somebody else doing something to a white person, like, oh, it's reverse, like it's some sort of separate discrimination, is just complete bullshit to begin with, Any sort of discrimination between any race or, sexuality or whatever is discrimination bar none. And especially in this case where this woman, she got looked over for, a lesbian friend of her boss was a lesbian. Basically, the boss wanted the whole company to probably go, Pride ally, and she got screwed. But good for her for fighting up and actually bringing a light to this. And yeah, it's just insane because there's a fake narrative going around that oh, black people can't be racist against white people, or there's just no discrimination to white people. It's all fake, and somehow the liberals and left wing, just the Democrats, let this like perpetuated this narrative of no, there's just no, black people can't be racist, like with the whole critical race theory and all that crap. It's just good to know with Trump that all that stuff, the woke DEI crap that pushes these types of narrative is hopefully soon to be just completely removed from the government, and it just goes to a cut and dry common sense of, oh yeah, that's discrimination. You can't just do that to a white person. You know, it's just, that's how it needs to be, bar none, cut and dry throughout all the races, and just so there's no like muddied waters. Like, oh, can white people be discriminated against? Of course they can. Of course they can. But all right, that's it for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll be seeing you